Next, we're going to head to Ukraine. Donald Trump is expected to make what's been described as a major statement on Russia later, related, of course, to the war in Ukraine. Now, there's been speculation he might support new sanctions against Moscow after his previous efforts to end the fighting have had little impact. Well, speaking to reporters at Andrews Air Force Base on Sunday, Donald Trump expressed growing frustration with Vladimir Putin. Let's take a listen.
But I am very disappointed with President Putin. And I thought he was somebody that meant what he said, and he'll talk so beautifully and then he'll bomb people at night. We don't like that.
Well, meanwhile, Mr. Trump's envoy to Ukraine, Kellogg, has arrived in Kyiv by train. He's the man on the right here. Ukraine says he will discuss, among other topics, weapon supplies and sanctions. Let's cross to our correspondent now, Charlotte Gallagher, who's in Kyiv. Charlotte, just first of all, it's been described as a significant statement by Donald Trump. Clearly, we don't have the details yet, but what do we know?
I mean, there is speculation that this will be about sanctions, possibly against Russia, so increased sanctions against Russia, and also possibly sanctions against countries which are helping Russia as well. So a two-pronged approach from the United States. But as at the moment, that is speculation. We don't know what President Trump is going to announce, but certainly there does seem, Lewis, to be a real shift in the relationship between the US and Ukraine. It's not been the easiest relationship at times. You'll remember that kind of pretty fiery press conference in the Oval Office earlier this year when it appeared that President Zelensky was on the receiving end of a dressing down, essentially, from President Trump. But now he seems to have changed his mind about President Putin, a man he's previously admired, President Trump. And as you heard there, he said he talks nicely, President Trump, but then he bombs everybody at night. And so he seems openly frustrated with President Trump and seems ready to make a pretty big announcement about the future of US relations with Russia.
OK, and on to more concrete matters. We've got now this concrete supply from the US to the Ukraine of Patriot air defence missile systems. Just talk us through how that's going to work.
So they're going to be supplied by the US, but President Trump said they will be paid for by the European Union because that's been one of his big issues. He believes the US is spending too much money on military aid to Ukraine. So these Patriot air defense missiles, which are the best of the best when it comes to defending the skies against drone attacks and missile attacks, are very good, but they're also incredibly expensive. So President Trump says they will be paid for by the European Union, but they will be in Ukraine soon, we think. This is what President Zelensky has been asking for. He says Ukraine needs more Patriot air defense systems because Russia is sending up hundreds and hundreds of drones every night, attack drones, and also ballistic missiles. So President Zelensky and Ukraine, I think, will be very pleased that these Patriot air defense systems should be in the country very soon.
Thank you, Charlotte. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News.